The number one reason why people convert their PowerPoint presentations into a video is when they want to use it for an exhibition or perhaps at an event. But the reality is that there are a number of reasons why you would want to convert your PowerPoint presentation to a video. No matter what your reason is, in today's tutorial, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process on how you can convert your PowerPoint presentation to a video. Plus, at the end of this tutorial, you'll also get to learn what would happen if you were to embed a YouTube link or perhaps a video file into your presentation and then try and convert it into a video format. So stick around till the end of the video to find out more. For now, let me move on to my computer screen and let us get started. Okay, so now that we are on my computer screen, we can actually get started with the tutorial. But before we deep dive into the tutorial and get to the steps on how you can convert a PowerPoint presentation to a video, there are really three things that I would want you to keep in mind and remember when you're creating a video using a PowerPoint software. And the first thing is, you want to make sure that your presentation is actually using a widescreen format. And what I mean by that is your presentation is set up in a 16:9 ratio. And a quick way for you to check that would be to go to Design, click on Slide Size, and make sure that widescreen 16:9 is selected. And the reason is most modern day monitors, be it a computer screen, be it an external screen, it could be a TV or a projector, really use a widescreen format. And so if you're creating a video using a 4:3 standard format, it's not really going to look like a video when you put it on a widescreen format monitor. So make sure that you're using a widescreen slide setup. Once you've done that, you're ready to go on to the second thing that you need to keep in mind. And that is, you don't necessarily need to create a new presentation when you want to convert it to a video to use for an exhibition or an event, or even perhaps for an online seminar or a webinar, or even for your students. You can easily open up an existing presentation. You can use any presentation that is visually appealing, something that you've created very recently, something that looks nice. Perhaps you have outsourced a presentation design project to a freelancer or a design agency. Go ahead, use that. Make sure that you use something which looks nice. The third thing that you want to keep in mind is when you have a presentation that you're using, typically we may not have any animations or transitions which we use in a PowerPoint presentation. But when you want to convert it into a video, when you want it to look like a video, you really need to have some elements of animations and transitions built into the presentation. These could be subtle effects. They don't have to be something really fancy, but including an animation or a transition which really supplements the whole design will actually make it look good. So let me just very quickly show you how my presentation is set up. As I mentioned earlier, I've actually gone ahead and opened up a presentation that I recently created. And let me put it to a slideshow mode so that you guys can see how it looks in full screen and the kind of animations and transitions that I've used. And I'll very quickly walk you through the kind of animations and transitions I've used. So when I go on to the second slide, as you see, this text actually moves onto the top part of the screen. That has really been done using a morph transition, which is actually one of my favorite transitions. In fact, I'm actually going to be creating a separate video on morph transition. I'll drop in a link in the video description. So make sure that you check it out. If you don't know what morph transition is, it is super cool. It is something that you guys should definitely know. And if you're not aware of it or don't know how to exactly use it to create your presentations look nice, make sure that you go check out that video once you've done watching this video first. So morph transition, and I've got a bunch of different animations. This is again using a morph transition, and these, as you can see it coming, the text is actually using an animation. Again, the way the things change over here is using a morph transition. The others are animation. So let me quickly move ahead over here. This is again a morph transition, while these are animations. So a good mix of morph transition and animation is what I've actually built into my presentation, and it kind of gives a overall look and feel of a video. So I'm not going to go through all the slides. So three things very quickly. The first is make sure that your presentation is using a widescreen slide setup, widescreen format. The second really is to remember that you can use an existing presentation, but whenever you're creating a video using a PowerPoint, make sure that it looks visually appealing. make sure that it looks nice. The third thing really is make sure that your presentation also has some subtle animations and transitions built in so that it actually gives an overall video kind of an effect. Once you're done creating a presentation which includes these 3 steps that I mentioned, you're actually ready to convert a presentation to a video. To do that, you need to go to File, click on Export. Make sure that you're on the right folder where you want to export the file. Then choose the file format from the drop-down. I would recommend going with an MP4, but if you're using Mac, you can also go with an MOV format. For now, let's go ahead with an MP4 format. This is compatible with both Mac and Windows, so I would recommend choosing that. You can change the settings over here. This is a 1080p kind of a video setting, but you can also go with a 4K video setting by changing the width and the height over here. Once you've done that, I would want you to pay attention to the seconds spent on each slide timing setup. And here you want to make sure that you set up at least 5 seconds, and I wouldn't recommend making it longer than 10 seconds. Otherwise, your video is really going to look longer and each slide is actually going to take 10 seconds, which in my opinion is a little too long for a video. So I would highly recommend this to be 5 to 8, and I'll leave that up to your preference. For now, I'm going to go with a 5-second timing. Next, just click on Export, and PowerPoint is actually going to export the file into a video format. You'll know that the PowerPoint is converting, as you can see this little bar which appears over here, which is creating video and converting this to a video. So I'm just going to pause the video over here and come back once PowerPoint has done converting the video. Alright folks, as you can see, there's a new video which has been exported by PowerPoint in the desired folder. And when I double click on it, we can open the video and you can see that it is actually an MP4 file. And this is the same presentation which I've been using. So basically what we've done is converted our PowerPoint presentation to a video. So let me go ahead and very quickly play this. There is no sound to it, but you'll be able to see that the video is actually playing, and you will see that the slides are automatically changing. Now, as I said in the earlier part of the video, what would really happen if we were to actually insert a video in this PowerPoint presentation before we convert it into a video format? Will PowerPoint really include the video that we put on this presentation before we convert it into a video format? Let's find out. So to do that, I'm actually going to go to the last slide and insert a new slide and convert the slide into a blank layout. Just go to Layout and click on Blank. Alright, I have already exported a video file, so I'm just going to go ahead and add the video file onto this particular slide. So I'll go to the folder and copy and paste this video over here. That's one way of importing the video. As you see, this is the video that we just created, and you can also see that it is a video because it has a play and a pause button. We can in fact click on the play button and you'll notice that the video actually starts playing. So I'm going to pause that for now. So what we want to do is we want to really know what would happen if we were to embed a video in a PowerPoint presentation before we convert it into a video format. Will the video also play this video that we have included along with the other slides? Let's just go ahead and export it into a video format and see what happens. To do that, again, I'm just going to click on Format and I'm going to click on Export. In the folder, I'm just going to choose MP4 and convert it into a video with a video and click on Export. PowerPoint will start converting. Let me just fast forward, and once it's done exporting, I'll be back. Alright, so PowerPoint is done exporting this video, and as you can see, there are actually 2 videos over here. This is the first MP4 and the second MP4 format, both of which we exported from our PowerPoint presentation. And as you also notice, the first video which I exported is a 15 MB video, and the second video actually is double the size, and the only difference between the 2 presentations was we added the first video to the batch of slides that we already had in the presentation, and that has actually made the video longer. So let's just go ahead and see if this video actually plays the video that we embedded in the PowerPoint presentation. So I'm just going to double click this video, and once we click on play, we notice that this video is actually playing, and it also shows the slides that we've included in the presentation, and it shows these slide transitions perfectly well. So I'm just going to fast forward this to the part where we have the second video added. So this is the part where the first video ends, and this is the last slide where we embedded the video, and it seems like the video is also being played. As you can see, the video is actually being played. So as you may have noticed, if you were to actually add a video in your PowerPoint presentation, PowerPoint is actually going to convert all the slides and the video into a single output, and that output is going to be a video format. So all the slides and the video are actually going to look very cohesive and actually going to look like a one single video. And that is really, really powerful, because now by just being a little creative, we can actually use PowerPoint to create beautiful videos. Now, I did a similar experiment with a YouTube link, and I tried to embed a YouTube video, and I realized that if you were to use a YouTube link or a video from YouTube, instead of the video that we embedded over here, PowerPoint is actually not going to include that in your final video. So you just need to keep that in mind. Make sure that the video that you want to include in your PowerPoint presentation actually a video format and not from an online resource, and PowerPoint is going to do the rest. I hope these steps were actually helpful for you to understand how you could create a video using PowerPoint. So that brings me to the end of this video, and I hope that you learned something new. And if you did, please make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon. For now, this is Shod signing off from Art of Presentations, and I'll see you in my next video.